Welcome guys, Raj Sangha of Cardiff Security. Today, another base van update. What have we done? We've done quite a lot. There's been some serious progress since our last episode. So what I would suggest, because we're going to talk about a lot, we're going to talk about the audio and we're going to talk about the suspension, which this van is clearly lacking. So I would suggest grab a coffee, grab a soft drink, or grab a beer, sit back and watch this episode. I think it's best we start with the front. So let's crack on. Front doors. Doesn't look like we've done much since the last episode. Well, we actually have. The doors are more or less done. We need to take the panels back off, smooth them down a bit, and then obviously cover them up, or trim them, should I say. But what we have done at the request of our customer, Rocky Patel, is add some more treble and some more mid-bass in the front. So we've added two more horn tweeters on the top of the dash, just above the stereo, so that one's firing at the passenger, one's firing at the driver. And we've taken the original kick panel builds. So those of you that had Ford Escorts back in the day, you will know about these kick panels, and they sit here. Don't actually do much for audio because the sound just fires at your feet. But we've taken the original kick panels, used these as templates, and built our own beefier kick panels using fiberglass and MDF. And we now have kick panels on either side. Each of those kick panels will house one of these Rockford Fosgate P1650 6.5 inch two-way coaxials. And go. Okay, we knew that was going to happen. That additional weight, the batteries and so on. Okay, what impact has that had on the suspension? Well, the leaf springs. The van does not move. It is literally sitting on the bump stops. Any more weight, and I think the arches will start to push out. So to move the van, we've had to jack it up and use dollies and move it around. Now, last episode, I asked Rocky what does he want to do with the suspension. We have since then had a discussion. He has dropped some money off. Thank you, Rocky. And we are now going airlift. So we will have to get Jay, the engineer, involved, and we will talk about that in about 5 or 7 minutes. But Jay will explain what's involved with the suspension, what has to be done, because I think this is going to be a custom fab kit. But in the meantime, let's talk about the audio. Okay, so back of the van. This is where all the electronics is. So you've got your 6 amplifiers and you've got your 6 batteries. Initially, I thought there was going to be 4 batteries, but the guys sort of had to take me to one side after the last episode and say, Raj, come on, get with the program. It's 6 batteries. So we have 3 4-channel Rockford Fosgate amplifiers, P400 X4. These are powering the two-way speakers and all the horn tweeters. And then we've got 3 bass amplifiers, P1000 X1BD. Each one of these Rockford Fosgate amplifiers is powering 2 subwoofers. They are more or less wired in place. They're not been set up, but you can see the sort of wirings been nicely put into place. There's obviously a lot more to do there, clean it all up, and there's some trim panels that will sit on top. So you'll see none of the wiring. All you will see are the amplifiers. Numerous fuse blocks. As you can see there, and there's another Rockford Fosgate fuse block underneath. We've got 0 gauge, I believe it's 0 gauge power cable running from the front battery to the main fuse block, and then obviously that distributes out to the smaller fuse blocks. Bus bar. So we had to get some bus bars. They are connected to the top of the batteries and to the side of the sections here at the back of the van. Those are your earthing points here on the side, and obviously all your positive is connected on these bus bars and then into the fuse blocks and then into the main fuse block. Now, weight. How much more weight have we added since our last episode? Well, the batteries are all in place, so I can't really take one out and show you how much that weighs. and the subs are in place, and we'll show you that shortly. So what I've done is I've got another battery, I've got another sub, and I'll show you what each sub and battery weighs. So let's do that now. Okay, so I have one sub here and one battery here. Obviously the batteries are all installed, so this is a brand new battery, Stinger SSB 2000, 6 of these. Each one weighs 11 kilograms, just over, we'll call it 11 kilograms. So you've got 66 kilograms of battery weight on top of the 250 kilograms that we added in the previous episode. And now we'll do the sub. Rockford Fosgate P3 15-inch sub. Again, 6 of these, and we are at, 9 kilograms dead. So 54 kilograms there. So 54, 66, 120 kilograms, plus the 250, we're at 370 kilograms. There is obviously a fair amount of cabling that's been installed. You've got the fuse blocks, we've got the 2 horn tweeters in the front. So we're probably at 400 kilograms of additional weight from the stock van that was delivered to us by Rocky. So that's where we're at currently. There's going to be some trim panels that are going to go here to finish it off. There is lighting, so we've agreed that. Thank you again, Rocky. There'll be some lighting in the back. So I think, one other thing. The Rockford Fosgate stickers come off. That was the old sticker. If you recall, I got a bollocking from the US guys for using the old retro sticker. We're just waiting for the new sticker to come, and that will be positioned there. So the back, it's not done, but it's more or less done, because it literally is just finishing off the wiring, putting the panels in place. The subs are actually wired. We have had audio. Obviously no top end because no speakers installed yet. We've still got the speakers to fit here. We've got the horn tweeters to fit there. If you recall, in the previous episode, I showed you where those fit. In the following episode, they will be in place. So I think that's enough of the back. Let me show you the inside now and show you how the subs look. The box has all been trimmed up and the boxes are in place. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so as you can see, the 6 Rockford Fosgate Punch 15-inch woofers are now in place with the 3 sub boxes. No longer looks like there are 3 sub boxes in place actually, because there's a trim panel that covers the section nearest the cabin. There will be another trim panel that goes in front of that, which will have vinyl, the same vinyl that you can see, which is wrapped around the 3 sub boxes that are already in place. There will be some LED lighting which goes around the side of the sub box and along the top panel. And if you look carefully, you can see that there's a mirror right at the back of the van. Gives the illusion that there are 12 subwoofers in the van. There obviously aren't, there are only 6, and the size of this van, it'll be impossible to have 12 subwoofers in that design. So that's the sub boxes in place. The section in front of the boxes, which we've left there, there's a space there. That's where the air tank, the compressor, and also the manifold will be mounted for the airlift system. So we're already planning ahead and we're working out that's where it's going to fit, and obviously going to run the lines into there. I think it's now time to get the van in the air and work out what needs to be done in installing the airlift kit, the struts, how much fab work is involved. It's the first time we're doing an Escort van, so this is going to be interesting, but we know it can be done. So let's get the van in the air and let's have a chat with Jay, the chief engineer, and work out what he has planned for the installation. Okay, Jay, we saying?
Saying. All right, guys.
Okay, so Jay is the chief engineer here. He is the chief. Jay, talk about what needs to be done with the airlift and the struts and so on, because obviously it's not something I've seen before, and I don't think it's something you've seen.
Van's quite old school, so it's got a leaf spring setup at the rear end. Because of the sheer weight of the vehicle, it's not drivable. We're gonna have to fabricate a couple of mounts on the rear beam here so we can lift the vehicle's then drivable, and obviously we can air it out at shows. So at the rear end here, we're going to be installing a couple of custom brackets with some airbags, and obviously along the front of the vehicle we're going to be changing the front shocks out for air suspension shocks with shocks and bags as a one unit. Lines are going to be run following the brake lines, management tank, controller all mounted inside the vehicle, behind the sub box, behind the driver's seats, all hidden away so it's nice and neat. compact and usable van at the end of the day. Everything has been restored on this van. That's the reason Rocky has bought the van. Someone's taken a lot of care to heat shrink the exhaust, change all the nut and bolts underneath the van. As you can see, there's hardly any dirt on the van at all, so it's not even been driven much since it's been done. If you follow me through, as you can see, all new brake lines, braided lines, new nuts, bolts, anti-roll bars, sump, frames. Car's had the works. So it'll be quite a nice pleasure to work on this vehicle.
Thanks for watching. So to summarize, we've added 400 kilograms of weight. The car is now going on air because otherwise it's not going to move. The subs are in place, the amps are in place, the batteries are in place. A lot of work's been done. Next episode, everything in the back will be trimmed. Lighting will be in place. I'm not sure if the air will be in place, but I think we will most definitely have audio. The front doorbells will be done, the speakers will be in. So there's a fair way to go, but there'll be enough to show you in the next episode. Now, as always guys, like, follow, comment. What do you like? What don't you like? Are we doing anything wrong? Let us know. What should we be doing? Should we do another base van after this is finished? Because this has been pretty cool. And if so, what van should we do, or should we do a car? Now, guys, you've got to subscribe. That's extremely important because it means that we can give you more content, because obviously you'll be crying out for it. So from me, thank you very much. Feeling a little bit thirsty after that episode. So I think it's time for my little 7-Up. I'm gonna get over into the office and do some work. See you next time.